found to be the most difficult thing about parenting is consistency, to where my now 5-year-old knows what to expect and what my level is going to be when he does a certain thing and how I respond to certain things. I try my hardest, and I certainly don't bat 1,000 at being consistent, where this is my tone, this is my response when you do this thing. And I think it needs to be the same thing every time, so he understands standards, and he's starting to learn cause and effect and, actions and consequences and stuff like that. But it's up to me to be consistent so he understands, okay, this is wrong or this is bad, and this is what happens when I do it, right? The SEC is failing miserably at being consistent with their enforcement, and stuff like this is why fans call for conspiracy, why they think that the league is protecting somebody or out to get somebody or whatever, because 2 weeks ago, or really just over a week ago, an SEC head coach shoved, not on purpose, shoved the quarterback of his opponent. And nothing happened. The league announced that his apology was adequate. And that was it. But another SEC coach in a press conference says the officials screwed that call up, and it was an objectively true statement, by the way, when that coach said the officials screwed that call up, and the SEC fined him $25,000 for doing that. Now, for a $10 million a year football coach, is $25,000 a lot of money? No, it's basically nothing. It's hard to fathom that that's basically nothing, but to these guys it is. But the fact that there was expectation and punishment levied means that that thing that you did is bad enough to where we are taking money from you. Coach shoves opposing player, and that is not worthy of a fine. Criticizing officials, that is fine-worthy. Shoving an opposing player, not fine-worthy. Is that officiating crew getting punished? Are they going to get fined? Are they going to get reprimanded publicly? Do they have to face the media? What happens to them? They're grown men. Nothing. They screwed up badly. They set a bad precedent. What happens to them? The league is punishing, they're coming down harder on students in the stands than a coach that physically put his hands on another player. And you want people to sit here and believe that everything's above board and there's no conspiracy. There's no protection. There may not be. Georgia had players get kicked out of the game. Georgia ultimately got quote-unquote screwed by this. But it doesn't matter. You are creating the illusion of protection when you're not consistent with enforcement. Criticizing an official is fine-worthy. Shoving a player is not fine-worthy. Throwing bottles on the field is fine-worthy. Make that make sense. It doesn't, and that's the league's problem. The league forced Ole Miss to release a statement about fake injuries. Is Alabama going to have to do the same? If they don't, what is an Ole Miss fan supposed to think? That the league is protecting Alabama, right? Be selective or be consistent in your enforcement. Make Alabama release a statement this week. But they won't. Fine Kirby Smart for shoving a player. They won't. Fine a coach for criticizing officials. They'll do that. Consistency. That's all they need to be. But they're not. And that's why people don't